Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
You could be driving.
Honda has won more U.S. News and World Report awards than any other brand in the last decade. And now you can add another one to the list, being named the best car brand of 2022. Come get your Honda today at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours in your little slice of heaven. Since the last opportunity we had to talk with you, 24 hours ago, give or take a few minutes. We start today's show with our sincerest, heartfelt condolences to our friends and neighbors in South Louisiana. Those particular in the St. Bernard Parish area, so adversely affected by yesterday's inclement weather. You know, if there's anybody on the planet that we would like to think is familiar with the ravages of weather, it would be the good folks in Louisiana. We've had, over time, more than our fair share of instances where there but by the grace of God go any one of us. And it's times like these where neighbors rely on neighbors, family, and friends. The St. Bernard Parish officials in charge there confirmed that one fatality occurred. Also, a young girl on a ventilator was rescued from a house that had been lifted up and landed in the middle of a street. They go on to say that now that the sun has risen, crews will be assessing the damage. It was a frightening sight. And I don't know if the gentleman that took the footage understands the significance of it or not, but it was reported that there was a multiple vortex tornado, meaning typically you see tornadoes, there's that one funnel, it does what it does, destructive force in nature, and continues on. But every now and then, very, very rarely, there will be tornadoes with multiple vortexes. These have often been described as the drunken man. If you've ever seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It looks literally like a guy drunk and staggering, wobbling. What is significant about this is that the experts tell us if you happen to see a multiple vortex tornado, in all likelihood, it is the last thing you will ever see. Meaning, if you're close enough to see it, you're probably not going to survive it. It is one of those things that comes along regularly. in South Louisiana that lets us know that there are forces at work much greater than the human mind can begin to comprehend. And sadly, aside from the loss of life, property, livelihoods, etc., there's also the criminal element involved here. Now, as a South Louisiana resident, I know what it's like to feel that tug in your heart. I mean, these are relatives, they're neighbors, they're co-workers, they're friends, they're our fellow citizens. And we all know on any given day, for any number of reasons, we could find ourselves where these people find themselves at this moment in time. And as a result, we go out of our way to try and help. It's just who we are. It's what we do. But recent memory has shown us the human existence has devolved to the point now where there are individuals that look specifically for things like this to happen so that they can take advantage of other people's goodwill and good nature. It pains me deeply to have to spend time asking you to do your due diligence before you donate to any cause. It's typically characterized by one of two trains of thought. Well, Clarence, I just give. I don't worry about whether they're going to use the money for what they said they were going to do it. God knows my heart was in the right place. He'll take care of that. Well, that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it, however, and more people now are starting to gravitate in this direction, is that as hard as I work for my money, and more important, as bad as people are hurting because of whatever the event happens to be, they deserve to get every single penny that I donate to help them out. Now, I am not going to put myself up on any high poobah throne of determining who is worthy of receiving your assistance and who is not. I leave that to you. It's your money. You earned it. You have the right to do with it what you will. But at the end of the day, I would like to think you want your money to help as many folks, particularly Louisiana folks, as possible. So do your homework, guys, girls. There will be all sorts of folks that are going to have their hands out asking for assistance on behalf of, you fill in the victim's name here. At the end of the day, the only thing worse than watching our fellow Louisianians have to suffer through yet another horrific weather event is watching them suffer due in large part to the fact that some greedy you-know-what decided to take advantage of the situation. I would like to think that we're better than that. But my life experience has taught me otherwise. In an ideal world, you'd never have to entertain things of this magnitude. But as we all know, our world is no longer ideal. And on any given day, in any given place, at any given time, there are folks out there that will make you think, wow, we've reached a new low as a society when people are stooping to things like this. Now, this is no different, y'all, from any hurricane, tropical storm, what have you, in that if you suffered damage and are looking for relief expeditiously, those who have been through it will tell you it's a process. And in attempting to cut corners, again, referencing those that would seek to separate you from your hard-earned money, that is a recipe for disaster. I understand none of us relish the thought of going through the process. None of us relish spending whatever amount of time we have left dealing with the aftermath of something like this. But when all is said and done, we do want you to get over it. We want you to get past it. We want you to be made whole. And for God's sake, y'all, if you find yourself victimized by unscrupulous individuals, once you get over the shock, the disappointment, the sadness, make sure that you report these folks to the proper authorities. It may not get your money back, but at the end of the day, at least you'll have the satisfaction of knowing that you did your part to help some of your fellow Louisianians not have to go through the same thing. Just an observation, y'all. Just an observation. We are heading up on our first break of today's show. When we come back, I want to talk about yet another wake-up call for South Louisiana. The alarm has been ringing incessantly in recent memory. And we, as a society, have continued to hit the snooze bar over and over and over again. In the last week, 2 cases have caught the attention of us here in South Louisiana. And what it says about us is disturbing. We'll talk about that next as we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Mandafine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Mandafine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Mandafine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent.
Depend on us for service, for selection, for price.
Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The Mazda CX-30, named an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. Perfect for the journey ahead.
Start your journey in a new Mazda CX-30. Right here at Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, gang. Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Buck Show. This segment I call, for lack of a better phrase, yet another wake-up call for South Louisiana. For us longtime Louisiana folks, when you hear the phrase South Louisiana, typically we think of a line across the bottom of the state that geographically extends from New Orleans through Baton Rouge to Lafayette to Lake Charles. Give or take a few degrees, pretty much a straight line. And as longtime South Louisianians, we know pretty much that outside of the realm of space, nothing occurs in a vacuum. Meaning, one of the idiosyncrasies of the human experience is such that things don't just happen out of nowhere. Typically, there are signs along the way that inform us we're going down a dangerous road. We are entertaining troubling trends. And if we don't do something about this, this is not going to bode well as far as the eventual outcome is concerned. 2 cases this week, in the last week, caught my eye as yet another wake-up call for South Louisiana. The first, I have to preface by telling you it's extremely graphic. I'll tell you that up front, in case you have kids in the room, you're squeamish, sensitive, whatever. I just don't want you to think I didn't give you the heads up. 73-year-old Linda Fricky, by all accounts, loved her family, hard worker, good neighbor, good member of the community, civically responsible, the whole nine. Goes to her job at an insurance company, the office she runs. Leaving the office, she's the victim of a carjacking. During the course of the carjacking, 73-year-old Linda Fricky becomes entangled in the seat belt. She's dragged over a block by the car, and this thief driving it, before her arm gets ripped off her body. Witnesses to this most horrific of events get on the phone to call 911. One gentleman saying, quote, "Unfortunately, the phone rang for 4 minutes and 45 seconds before I hung up." He added, another person finally got an answer from 911, but as you can imagine, it still took several more minutes before paramedics arrived. No one, least of all, a 73-year-old woman deserves to go out like that. Meanwhile, police announcing they've arrested 4 suspects. Get this. A 17-year-old boy, a 16-year-old girl, and 2 15-year-old girls. Oh, and did I mention the 17-year-old boy was arrested for carjacking 2 years ago when he was freaking 15, and the new DA, 2 months into his term, dropped the charges. No one deserves to go out like that. Meanwhile, continuing on that mythological geographical line across South Louisiana, we move from New Orleans to Lake Charles. Six-year-old Drea Michelle Guillory, at home, as most 6-year-olds do, sitting on the couch, watching TV, not bothering anybody, not flashing gang signs, not out committing an armed robbery, sitting on the couch watching TV. When someone decides to open fire on the house that she's in, she's now died from her injuries received from doing nothing more than sitting on the couch watching television. How long are we going to continue to hit the snooze bar? How long before we collectively decide we're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and we're not putting up with this crap anymore? You know what's conspicuously absent from this whole litany of senseless homicide that we've talked about in recent memory? You know what's conspicuously absent? White supremacists. Nowhere to be found. My brothers and sisters, I implore you, I beseech you, brethren, by the mercies of God, to join the fight and try to stop this foolishness. If there is someone running for any elected office where you live, and they cannot give you a plan on how to rein this in, for God's sake, y'all, don't honor these people with your vote. I don't care what the letter is behind their name. Don't give them your vote. And the next time white liberals, Democrats, progressives try to tell you what a big problem racism is in this country, tell them take a hike. Because where I live, this ain't nothing but black folk where I live. We ain't worried about white folk. It's the ones that look just like us that have us scared to leave our homes in broad daylight. It's folk that look just like us that have us scared to death to run to the corner store to get a loaf of bread. It's folks that look just like us that we dread if we have a teenage son or a preteen son, and they go out with their friends every freaking time the phone rings, we jump. But it will only change if you demand it. It will only change when you decide that it's your house and you gonna run it, not some teenager. Pure and simple. It ain't that hard to figure out, y'all. It ain't that hard. A 73-year-old woman and a 6-year-old baby girl. What does that say about us? bottom of the hour break. If you would, and I understand full well, not everybody watching right now is a member of the community of faith. I get it. Part of being American is you can worship who you want or nobody, if that's what you choose. I don't know either one of these families, don't know anybody by name. But I'm relatively sure they wouldn't mind in the least if you would be so kind as to keep them in your thoughts and in your prayers. Bottom of the hour break, we'll soldier on. Next, on today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Driver assistance technology comes standard on every Camry model as part of Toyota Safety Sense, setting the standard for safety every time you're on the road, no matter the destination. Save on your Camry today at Team Toyota, I-12 at O'Neill.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. That's what happens when we let Alan out of the truck, see. Comes in here and screws everything up. Everybody sitting there nodding in agreement. Yep. Stay in your lane, bro. Stay in your lane. Good thing you can't hear me because the screen be black right now. You know, as we get older in life, we allegedly gain more and greater appreciation for the wisdom of the founding fathers. Understanding that they knew full well what they were doing in crafting this marvelous representative republic of ours, and understanding human nature, they knew that there will always be someone. It's an inherent flaw in the human experience that someone is always after more power and control. And as a result, they informed us, did the founding fathers, that when we reach this point where those in the quest for power have become completely unresponsive to those they represent, it is not only your right, but it is your duty to remove them. They knew, based on what had happened prior, the danger associated with replacing one king / dictator with another federal / government. They knew that an all-encompassing, mega, overreaching government ran completely counter to the founding principles of our country. Now, let me say for the record, I am in no way, shape, or form encouraging you to go out and try to overthrow the government. Let's get that out of the way right here, right now. That ain't happening. I, for one, am still of the opinion that the ballot carries more weight than the bullet. Now, up until the last go round, there's now an addendum to that. You better watch who's counting them votes, buddy. You better watch. Look up and you've been dominionized. Just saying. Just an observation. Here's my point. We've all watched over the last year and change things happen in this country that are crippling average Americans. We've watched individuals, liberals, Democrats, progressives, try to basically alter the fundamental principles of this country. And of course, at the same time, we've watched them sit on camera night after night after night after night with a straight face and flat out lie about what happened that day. New poll out says 77% of Americans say increasing America's energy production should be a priority for the Biden administration. When is the last time you remember 77% of Americans agreeing on anything. So you would think, since 7.7 out of every 10 Americans think this needs to be a priority, well, certainly a government, not to mention the most transparent one in all of history, certainly they would be responsive to that. And of course, you'd be wrong. Meanwhile, 71% of Americans, in response to, hey, wait a minute, when the gas get this doggone high? 71% of Americans say we need to restart the Keystone XL pipeline. What does Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi, rest of the Dems, what do they tell you? Oh, that's not going to have anything to do with the price. 71% say we need to restart it. What does government do? Tell you buy an electric car for $60,000. 66 grand. 69% of our fellow Americans say our country's headed in the wrong direction. You think? Really? No, that can't be right. I'll give you one thing. I will give him this. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, in the shortest amount of time maybe ever, these folk have served to bring Americans together in our shared pain like nobody before them. I guess it's natural, the human existence being what it is, that misery loves company. As long as the people you hate are doing bad and you're doing okay, well, it ain't no big thing. They probably deserve that. As long as the people you support only hurt the people you don't support, well, they're getting what they should have gotten a long time ago. But now, my fellow Americans, to use the vernacular of the streets, everybody getting hurt. Everybody. You, me, white folk, black folk, brown folk, everybody getting hurt. And ironically, those who are being hurt the most are the most loyal Democrats there are. Starting to get the picture? Those who are suffering the most from the policies of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, those are the ones, percentage-wise, more people voted for than anybody else. Now, if you happen to look like me, or you're just middle class and below, you should really feel ashamed. Because you let these people, and yeah, I said it, you let these people hoodwink you. You let these folk fill your head with all kind of foolishness. Well, he's a racist. Well, he's a stooge for the Russians. Oh, he's in bed with the Ukrainians. Oh, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Until finally, after browbeating you with it every freaking night, you bought in to the lies. Now, on any other day, I would be tempted to ask, how's that working out for you? But I already know. You don't have to answer. I already know how it's working out for you. You have some serious buyer's remorse right about now, aren't you? Uh-huh. And the sad thing is, we tried to tell you. Y'all called me Uncle Tom, mouthpiece for the man, Republican coon, this, that, and the other. Tried to tell you. You went out of your way. Out of your way to talk about people like me and others who were doing nothing more than trying to tell your sorry behind the truth. I bet you see it now, don't you? Uh-huh. Day late, dollar short, Democrat. Day late, dollar short. But that's okay. Next time around, hopefully, you'll be a little wiser. And when somebody tells you, bend over, I'll drive, you just hold the keys up, say, that's all right, I'll drive myself. Some of y'all ain't going to get that till later. That's okay, long as you get it. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Mandafine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Buck Show. You know, we've often had the discussion, does life imitate art or does art imitate life? We talked about this not too very long ago, and I forget what the subject was. But when you intermingle politics with societal issues, and maybe more important, understand how individuals with certain agendas get started, take root, and take hold, you start to pay a lot more attention to detail. In recent memory, and we're going to have to change this definition, y'all, because academia is no longer academia. In many circles, academia, you can just replace that with the word foolishness. For example, the Cherry Creek School District in Colorado, wokety woke, woke, woke. These folks so woke, well, I don't leave that alone before I get in trouble. I'm too close to ending the show to get in trouble now. These folks have decided that starting with the class of 2026, they will no longer use the outdated practices of having a high school valedictorian or ranking the students by academic achievement because, quote, learning is not a competition. According to the Cherry Creek school system, quote, we believe that all students can learn at high levels, and learning is not a competition. As you well know, valedictorians are typically the students with the highest GPA, and they're recognized for the amount of work that they put in to earn that. But the school said, well, this concept is outdated. And while we're at it, since we're talking about it, the Cherry Creek School District says, there's some other things that we do that are outdated that we need to stop doing. The honor roll. Throw it out. It's outdated. Separate award ceremonies for department and school-related student expertise. Quote, you see where everybody gets a trophy, ends up taking you? You see where that goes? Now you know why they came up with this whole participation trophy crap. They want to tell you, well, it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. Y'all already know this. They want to tell you learning is not a competition. Oh, really? Let me ask you something. Where you work, go in today, start work. 6 months from now, don't know a damn thing about the work you're doing. See how long you last. But learning is not a competition. The hell it ain't. Come on, bruh. Really? Learning is not a competition. No, you want an excuse for your lazy behind and your lazy rotten kids not to have to perform the way they could. How many times have you heard me say some people would rather have a grievance than a job? Let me explain that. See, to have a grievance, this is all you got to do. Sit on this right here and do that. Point the finger somewhere else. To have a job, you got to get off of this right here and go to work. Some of y'all would rather have a grievance than a job. So we're going to do away with the honor roll. We're going to do away with the valedictorian. I couldn't get my child out that foolishness fast enough. Are you freaking kidding me? Now you know why the founding fathers did not trust their fellow human beings, because there will always be somebody looking to usurp your rights, your power, and your liberties, and if you let them, your finances. But thank you, God in heaven above, you loved me enough to make me an American, and I don't take that lightly. You loved me enough, dear God, to bless me to grow up in the greatest freaking country on the face of this earth. You loved me enough to put me in a position where I can fight for the things that you blessed me with. And I give you my solemn pledge, with every breath in my body, I ain't going out just like talking about it. Not like that. Only question now is, what about you? That being said, my time's up and I gotta go. This day, you already know the drill. I give it to you. This day, maybe more so than any other day in history. I give it to you. You know what? You're right. America, we are not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Best news you're going to hear all day. There ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. We'll see you tomorrow. Love you much. God bless.